The chain of food production is long, right from the farmer to the consumer. However, the most important part is storage and production. Today, members of the Grain Council of Uganda, with a fund from Agra, China Huangpai Food Machines, the millers and other stakeholders have convened to discuss a number of issues regarding food safety and security. Food security and safety are crucial from harvesting to consumption. However, the value chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and the milling industry plays a vital role in producing quality food for consumers.
If we are honest here, we can attest that almost every meal in every household in this country will carry something that goes through our hands.
The farmers, because we get this grain from the farmers directly, meaning that we are supporting the farmer by buying their grain, we bring it. In the process, even the transporter is benefited, meaning that is work.
Despite efforts to ensure quality production, poor quality food still finds its way on the market, sometimes containing dirt and other contaminants.
Vomit, stomach aches, others are nauseated, others diarrhea and etc. Now, most of the affected people are children, the pregnant mothers, lactating mothers, etc. I want to share with you something on hazards. You see, the food you process for us, sometimes it comes with a lot of hazards, which others are biological hazards, meaning that it's contaminated with aflatoxins. I'll speak a little bit into that. Some of the food you give to consumers is actually contaminated with chemicals. You find processors, because they don't have technology, I don't know, they go and put grain on tarmac roads. And you know what that means? You guys in physics, you remember when you're moving on a road and it's shining, you see the road shining, what we call mirage. So every time the sun is hitting colors or that tarmac, it keeps on melting. And then you've put grain, and this is grain that is going to be eaten by children in schools. And these are your children. These are our children, and you claim that these are the children of the future. Which future are we talking about? So what are you giving us, the consumers? Is a question of interest.
This raises questions about the pressing issues affecting the milling industry beyond farmer-related challenges.
Hammer mills. You know the hammer mills, the ones that have got those very big motors that consume so much electricity. The power consumption is very high. It is usually over 30 shillings per kilo of maize. When you put in a kilo of maize into the milling cycle by cleaning it, if you are using mechanical cleaning, dehulling it either once or twice and milling it, the total consumption, minimum total consumption of power per kilo of maize you put in is 30.
Abatasoma bagenda kuva mu business because ebintu buli byali manual kati bandiyese provisional manual registration then nebalekawo n'ebintu digital.
Waliwo tebayita reactive energy sitakukoyogerako now nze ebyuma ebyange bebitaba efficient onkuba penalty kakati nawe amasanyalaze g'ennaku zino tegali efficient gwe tukoleki
ffenna bwe tubeera nga tukola kufuna amagoba bwe mbeera nga nze ali mu kodi 20 nga nkozesa siringi 7 pa kilo ng'owa kodi 40 akozesa 30 to 37 kati nze natunda sente meka mu katale.
To address these concerns, a summit was held, bringing together stakeholders to discuss solutions.
Therefore, not structuring or supporting the millers would be counterproductive. That is why we are having this summit.
The summit was officiated by Honorable Evelyn Anite, Minister of State for Privatisation and Investment, who promised to address millers' concerns, particularly the high cost of power.
Please do clap for yourselves. I'm exciting. And it is very exciting not only for the grain millers, but for us as a country. We are very, very excited because you are coming together at a time that government of Uganda is driving a tenfold economic growth. One of the issues that the board of directors raised is the issue of power tariffs. And we're an action-oriented government. And I want to assure you today that I am just not playing to the gallery, but the issue of electricity tariff for the millers will be sorted the same way a manufacturer is supposed to get 5 cents. You, the millers, will also get 5 cents, US cents for manufacturing. They are not political promises, they are action and transformative promises that I have made for the sector of the grain millers and for the growth and employment of you in creating jobs for our citizens. May God, Lord, bless all of you. I love you all.
Representing China Huangpai, Nelson Ojuya highlighted how new technology from Huangpai will help tackle issues of aflatoxin, a significant challenge in the industry.
At the same time, we acknowledge the challenges that the millers face in this space. Dangerous agrochemicals through post-harvest handling, where, if I may take you back to the earlier presentation of how our farmers store our grain, which brings about issues of aflatoxins and of course impurities in the grain, right through to processing of value addition, which majorly touches us, the millers. Here, you find that the process of milling the maize that you and me consume is actually a manual process, whereby the maize is manually poured into the huller. From there, it's manually offloaded and poured into the mill, and even the packaging is done manually. This human interaction with the food that we consume poses a number of health challenges. And what we are saying is, if you can automate the system, have as little human interaction as you can, so that we are able to produce safe food for ourselves and also for the consumers.
Nagujja Serena, Naomi Namsoke for NSTV.